Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of the Sick Podcast, Talking Titans, our first matchup of the year with those Jacksonville Jaguars. It'll be the first matchup between Will Levis and Trevor Lawrence, so that's going to be fun to watch if Will Levis can stand for 0.3 seconds. But we're going to get into it and everything else Titans related this week on the show, so don't go anywhere. Sammy, start me up.
Turn up your volume. Because you're about to listen to The Sick Podcast. Talking Titans.
Ladies and gentlemen, 94 yards. Touchdown, Titans. He is the baddest man in the NFL, and he just took her to the house.
The sickest Tennessee Titans podcast.
Sick!
It's gonna be sick.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of the Sick Podcast, Talking Titans. I'm joined, as always, by my two counterparts, Jarett and Vin. Guys, we got a matchup which I was hoping would be a little bit more exciting than it's going to be because of our situation record-wise. But nevertheless, hopefully, this is going to be the first of many battles, epic battles between Will Levis and Trevor Lawrence. And obviously that'd be great for football, great for the vision and everything. So let's get right into it. Why don't you start us off, Jarett? What are you thinking about for this game as far as who's going to have the advantage? I think that's an easy answer, but just give us your best analysis of what you think you're going to see this week.
I mean, the advantage is kind of like a stupid question, not to call you out on that, but I mean, it's Jacksonville. Obviously, we're in Jacksonville this weekend. They're coming off of a loss, right? I believe.
They got smacked by the Niners.
They're coming off a loss. They actually won 2 games in a row against us, so they have that positive against us, another negative towards us. We have a terrible offensive line, like we've been talking about last podcast too as well. But their defense, if we're going to attack anybody, again, their defense in the back end on their secondary has been really not that great. I think they're averaging almost 270 yards per game. So if Will Levis can sit in the pocket comfortably, nice quick passes, like we've been saying over and over and over on this podcast, sits back comfortably, nice, dinks and dunks. The dinks and dunks shirt needs to come about.
Really does.
If he dinks and dunks his way down in the field, and we do ball control with Derrick Henry and Tajay Spears, I don't see it as too much of a problem. Like Vin always says, we can go down to Duval and do some damage against the Jaguars. I know most of us don't want to do that anymore because we're on the tank. But Trevor Lawrence is not doing that great either right now. Nine touchdowns, 6 interceptions. So they're kind of struggling a bit on offense, but they still have that firepower with Calvin Ridley. They have Christian Kirk. They got Tank Bigsley, and then ETN too. So, I mean, they can score at will, especially in our defense, our shaky defense. But obviously pressuring Trevor Lawrence is a huge key in this game too as well. So.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be all that surprised if we went down there and won, although I don't see it. They came off an ass beating at home. I have to think that Doug Peterson's going to have them motivated and ready to go for the first divisional game against us. It seems like we're lacking motivation at the moment, and until I see otherwise from this head coach, from this team, kind of like what we saw in the Atlanta game, until I see something like that again, I have no reason to believe that we're going to turn it around and beat, the division leaders right now. They are struggling. Trevor Lawrence, I believe Jarett said 9 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, 7 interceptions, something like that. But he's still immensely talented. They have Calvin Ridley, they have ETN, they have Ingram, they have Christian Kirk, although he got into some trouble. I don't know if he's playing this week. And they also have Doug Peterson. I know all about him. I live in the Philly area. You could tell, he is a perennial head coach in this league. The only Super Bowl championship with the Eagles, he was a big reason, part of that. Turned around this Jacksonville team in 1 year. So I think it's going to be a uphill battle. That being said, this Titans team, man, the only thing that we're consistent at is being inconsistent. So it wouldn't surprise me at all if they got our best shot in this game. Although part of me, not to sound pessimistic, because I know we've been getting dragged through the mud on these comments and whatnot, although I love it, and especially on Twitter too. How could you be real fans if you're rooting against your team? Well, it's not that I'm rooting against the team. It's that I don't see the point in, winning 6 or 7 games and missing the playoffs and picking, 10th or 12th or 13th when we could have 4 wins or 3 wins and pick top 5 and get a player who's going to come in day one, maybe Marvin Harrison Jr., I don't know, and make an instant impact. We're not going to do that by winning 6 or 7 games. I don't want to sound like I want us to lose, but any Titans fan who's a forward thinker, realize that this year's, it's over basically, unless we went on some crazy, win streak, which I don't see, not with this offensive line and this, these skill position players that we have. I think we want Will Levis to look competent. We want him to take strides, but we also don't want to win too many games because we're going to need either a top offensive lineman or Marvin Harrison Jr. to pair with our young potential franchise quarterback. So nothing would surprise me if we win this game, although I don't see it. And not to say I don't want them to win, but there's more to gain, in my opinion, by losing a lot more of these games than there are winning them, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, listen, here's the deal. The good news is that it's pretty much a win-win here. What happens, God forbid, unless a certain player got hurt that we do not ever, ever, ever want to see get hurt, ever, but especially now. Outside of that happening, it's a win-win because here's why. First, obviously, if we lose, the playoffs are officially done, and we can fully commit to the tank. Good news is, if they somehow do win, considering it will only be their second division game of the year, if they can win this game, it gives them not even a pulse, but they're not dead, completely dead. So it's a win-win. With that being said, I mean, I can't believe I'm being even remotely optimistic about anything.
I can't. Honestly, I'm in my head thinking, like, how the hell are you even saying this? But
I don't know. I don't know.
Coming out of your mouth.
I don't know. Maybe I don't know. But one other thing I'll say:
his new job's got him all giddy and shit.
No, that's not it. Trust me, that's not. I took a beating last night. If the offensive line could somehow be below average instead of historically awful, we could see them potentially have a tight game like the Falcons game. There are obviously other avenues of this team that combined is what's making them so terrible right now. But if they could ever just get their offensive line to play with a little bit more balls, just give a little bit more of a fuck, then they could maybe start stringing some games together. We know this team's been feeding off of momentum forever. Like they always win in bunches and they lose in bunches, right? It's never like a win, loss, win, loss. It's always one or the other. So if we can get a little bit of steam behind us, then who knows? We have the Carolina after this?
Yeah.
Carolina after this. So, I mean, that's the only good thing. If we lose, which I think we will, then we're in full tank mode. And it'll pain me, obviously. It'll pain me. But I'll genuinely not want them to win if they lose this game in Jacksonville. Because, again, we talked about Marvin Harrison Jr. already. It's all over Twitter now, considering the amount of losses we have. Another loss here against Jacksonville. We're 3-7 at that point, right?
Yeah.
Then it's all hands on deck. I mean, we haven't experienced a 3-7 year since pre-Marcus Mariota. So, well, no, his first year, I think we were worse than 3-7. But still, we knew we had our guy at the time. So this is it. I mean, that's the good news. You can be excited about this game because we're going to find out how the rest of our winter is going to be on Sunday night. That's it. Whether we're going to even have anything to talk about with this Carolina game or if it's going to be all hands on deck about how we're going to lose to get Marvin Harrison Jr. I mean, or whoever else, God forbid, Levis just absolutely, just descends and just that we're not even going to think about that. So that's all there is to it, and we'll see how it goes. I mean, if nothing else, the Jags seem to be not as in sync as a lot of people thought they would be nearly halfway into the season. So that doesn't mean much because there's no better cure to your woes as an NFL team than playing the Titans, as we see every fucking year, whether that be the Texans losing 9 in a row and then beating us, the Buccaneers losing 4 in a row and then beating us, or, the Jets, their first home win in 70 years, they win against us. So, I mean, listen, the crazier things have happened, but I'm just happy to see Levis and Lawrence. They seem like they're going to that could be a potential real, Eddie George, Ray Lewis type. Yeah, I know, but they're the two pretty blonde boys in the AFC South, right?
Well, I ain't calling Trevor Lawrence. He looks like a big toe to me. William Levis.
Well, you know what I mean. Whatever.
Don't disrespect Will Levis.
Well, yeah.
Putting him in the category of that big toe.
Will Levis is definitely a better looking male than Trevor Lawrence. I think Trevor Lawrence would have
has come down to. We're talking about how handsome our rookie quarterback is.
I'll give Trevor Lawrence the best looking. If a guy was a chick, he'd be the best looking chick of all of them. That's about all he's going to get. But anyway, yeah. So we'll see how things go. I mean, again, I don't want Vrabel here. I've said it a zillion times. So nothing's going to change there. That would be the only lose here. Is that if we win, even though our playoff hopes are still going to be somewhat alive, that's going to mean less heat off of Vrabel's back. Because there's genuinely, guys, and I know some people hate me for saying it, there's nothing that Vrabel could do that could get me back on his train. There's the last month has just been an abysmal freaking series of events for him, and I'm done.
What if we won out and won the division?
Nope, it would be in spite of him. It wouldn't be because of him, guys. Come on, we lost fucking 99 in the last 103, and now all of a sudden, if we went on a run, so the losing streak isn't Vrabel's fault, but best believe if we went on a fucking 9-game winning streak, there'd be people screaming from the rooftops, "We told you he's the best coach. We told you." Get out of here.
I'm not out on the Vrabel train. So I think he's a great coach. It's just he's been hampered by injuries and a depleted roster.
Let me get my fucking violin out.
Listen, you can get that violin. That conversation was a podcast ago. I'm over that conversation. You brought up a very important point when you started talking. That's the offensive line. If we can protect Will Levis in this game, obviously we could possibly do some damage like we did against the Atlanta Falcons. So the Titans just obviously signed a guard out of the Carolina Panthers, Calvin Throd.
Oh man, the Panthers?
Martin. Yeah, I know.
A guard from the Panthers? He must be great.
I did a little research on him. He was really he specialized really in pass block. In college, his pass block grade was a 91. Run block was an 80. So I mean, supposedly he had 500 snaps this year. He's got one penalty. If he is that guy, we can plug him in at left guard and put your boy Skoronski. Put Skoronski. Listen, because you know why? We have ShopRite employees sitting at the offensive line right now. That's why I'm saying plug this guy in at left. Plug this guy in at left guard. Put your boy Skoronski at left if you want to see it so bad. Because obviously Dilliard and Ray Dunes is not doing it right now. And another person I've been seeing all week on Twitter with Jim White and everybody posting videos is Jalen Duncan. I talked about him coming out in the draft. Daniel Jeremiah said he could be a diamond in the rough. He looks pretty quick on his feet. You guys laugh all you want.
I give you credit. I feel like
I'm trying to be optimistic right now. I'm trying to be optimistic right now.
From this team,
I am trying to put the best 5 guys on the line right now. I don't know who it is.
I give you credit, Jarett.
I tried, man. I tried.
You might be one of the most optimistic. I feel like an asteroid could be crashing towards Earth. And you'd be like, guys, it's all right. It's just going to miss us. We'll be fine.
Yeah.
New Jersey's
think Mike Vrabel would
coming right at us, dude.
It's gonna hit me in the face.
I think Mike Vrabel would be of better use to the Titans at left tackle than he would as a head coach. Probably. I'm not kidding. I'm genuinely not kidding. He still throws around some of these fucking guys on our team. It's pretty sad, actually. If you watch the tape, some of the times he'll go up.
He's a solid, 6'5", probably 250 at least.
My friend met him at Boston College because he went up for a game because his buddy's son was there. He said he saw Vrabel on the sidelines 2 years ago. He said his hands go down to his knees. He goes, his arms are ginormous.
Well, Lord knows I want no part of Vrabel if I've ever seen him.
My God.
Oh my God. Anyway,
But I'm telling you,
would you fight Vrabel, Sal, if it meant him getting fired?
No.
If it meant him getting fired, if it meant him getting fired.
No. Would I fight a 6'5" guy that played in the NFL?
If it meant him getting fired, if he approached you, he was like, "Yo, Sal, I seen you talking all that shit. Let's square up."
No.
After I beat your ass, I'll quit.
No. I'll deal with Mike Vrabel before I'll get my ass kicked by Mike Vrabel. Now, you throw Marvin Harrison Jr. in the
now
mix,
we're talking.
Maybe I'll let him beat the shit out of me.
I'd let him beat the shit out of all three of us for Marvin Harrison Jr.
Speak for yourself.
I would.
Oh yeah, no. Jarett wants to tackle Penn State.
Oh, we did. You saw that poll that we put up. So everybody, 67% of the people wanted Marvin Harrison.
Who said that?
I'm just saying.
Although I saw something interesting today. Speaking of our boy, not to throw a wrench in our potential draft plans, but and this is a hypothetical because I don't think they'll do it. The Bears are probably going to get the number 1 pick because Carolina's awful. Should Justin Fields look competent the rest of the season and they want to move forward with him, they can get Carolina's pick at 1, take Marvin Harrison Jr., have Marvin Harrison Jr., DJ Moore, Cole Kmet, Darnell Mooney, and then with their pick, which will probably be 5 or 6, go get one of those perennial offensive tackles. If they believe in Caleb Williams, Justin Fields, they would take Marvin Harrison Jr. first and then take one of the tackles with their own pick, which would be interesting.
Let's hope they keep losing.
You could talk to that on Adam Rank's podcast here on a Sick podcast, and like all of a sudden it turned into a Bears podcast where we want them to win. But I'm gonna tell you, I brought up Adam Rank. All these fans that you guys are listening, all you guys, you all owe Adam Rank an apology because he picked us with 4 wins. I don't even see us getting to 4 wins right now.
Yeah, he also thought the Bears were going to be like 10-7.
Well, he was a homer, and listen, I thought we were going to win 10 games. You guys thought 9. You see that happening now?
We were going to finish the season 6-3.
No. That's
Yep.
That up.
Yeah.
You said it's possible. I didn't say we were going to do it.
Sammy pulled a clip.
Oh God. Yeah, he doesn't have that. The clip they're going to pull is me talking shit about Vrabel again. So they can blast all over Twitter so I can get fucking death threats again. Thanks, guys. Anyway, so
that'd be good content, Sal. We would march. We would march up and down the turnpike for you.
It was great. It was awesome content. Sending the report to Twitter saying my life's in danger. So that was I should have screen recorded that exchange. But
I want to ask you guys before you even turn to something. I want to ask you, put your 5 people that you would want the rest of the way on the offensive line. I really genuinely want to know this from both of you.
All right, I'll start
with the new guy that just came here.
Okay, so it'll be Skoronski at left.
Okay.
Then the new guy at left guard.
Oh, you like that idea now?
Sure. Why the fuck not? Everyone else is a fucking asshole. And then, I got to pick what? Brewer at center, I guess. And then NPF? Or no, he's out for the year. Fuck. I don't even know. Who's been playing right guard? Radunes? Brunskill. No. Radunes. Try Radunes at right guard.
Brunskill's fine.
And then right tackle. I don't fucking know, man. It's a crapshoot. It's just a crapshoot.
Man,
there's no positives right now besides Skoronski, and we can't even tell if he's really that good. Honestly, we can't.
Shout out Peronio, by the way.
This offensive line is brought to you by Peroni. This podcast is also brought to you by Peroni. If you're going to drink Italian. So my offensive line is I'm going to put Radunes at left tackle. I'm going to put Skoronski at left guard. I'm going to put Brewer in center. I'm going to put Brunskill at right guard. I'm going to put Jared's boyfriend, our 6th-round pick, Jalen Duncan, at right tackle. Boom. I think I just solved the problem.
There it is. Clip it. Let's tag Vrabel.
See, I'm gonna go somewhat with Sal said. I'm gonna go Skoronski with the natural position at left tackle. I'm gonna go with this new guy that we got over here from Carolina. See what he has.
Anybody even know?
Calvin.
I think his name was like Thurman.
Throckmorton or something like that.
I don't know. Thurman Merman.
He's a guard. Like I said, pass block is 91 in
Rope
college.
demon? Is that what you said?
Put him there. He's a big body, 6'5", 317. Kind of reminds me of like a Roger Saffold style body. Then I would a little shift over now. Brunskill, I would put him at center. Okay. Then I would come over and I would put Ray Dunes at right guard. And I would either put Duncan or I would keep Huppert at right tackle. Just on the way. Just to short
get
things
any
up.
worse. It can't. They should just have every fucking play they rotate. All right. Next, we got Radunes at center. We're gonna put Brunskill at right guard. We're gonna have Skoronski at right. And next play, all right, Skoronski, you're at center. Like that's what they should do until it works. Because I mean, it's so bad. We literally thought it couldn't get worse last year, and it's at best just as bad. At best. So I don't know.
Yeah, that's
the
the
lab
point where I think
figure out.
we're wondering what if Dennis Daly's like up at night thinking about it. Could it be worth giving him a call?
How about Dennis Daly? How about Dennis Kelly? He played one game for the Jets this year. I don't know if he's still on the team or what. He can't be worse than fucking Dillard. God. Oh my God. We somehow had the worst left tackle on the planet last year on our team and somehow found the second worst left tackle on the planet for this year's fucking team.
Yeah,
what are the odds of that?
It's mind-boggling. Taking a shot on a guy like that and paying him $30 million.
$30 million. Imagine a $30 million turnstile in the city. Imagine that.
We're able to get rid of him after this year. We can get out of that.
Yeah,
deal.
I think it's a $10 million cap hit, a $10 million or $7 million cap hit.
Great,
but that's besides the point. Let's get into game picks over here since it's getting to be that time almost. What do you guys see how this plays out in Duval this weekend?
Good man.
I hate picking us to lose, but I've basically been on record the last few shows saying I hope we lose. So I'm going to say we drop this one 27-17.
Wow, 17 points. Sheesh.
Wow.
That's like scoring 40.
How that a 17-point prediction is like.
Yeah, damn. 2 touchdowns. Or was it 4?
Who knows? It might be 5 field goals and a safety for all I know.
5 field goals and a safety. That sounds more likely, actually. That's the sad part. Genuinely sounds more likely. And the safety will just be the quarterback stepping out of bounds.
They'll take a knee in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll run out.
Trevor Lawrence will step out of bounds in the end zone. Yeah. I'm gonna go 24-13 Jaguars. I think Levis has another performance that shows us that he's the guy. It's just nothing else around him is going to be good enough to win on either side of the ball. So, yeah, 27-13 Jags, and that will solidify us as a full tank. And at that point, I'm hoping we throw Malik Willis back in there, honestly. And it would be, like, shocking, but I mean, if the O-line really is this bad, and we see one more performance of Levis that's like, okay, he has it. He can sling it. It's just historically bad O-line, and we don't want to see him get murdered. I mean, it's not going to happen, but, you know, I just like Vince said, we got to do everything right by this kid, and this O-line is going to get him absolutely blown to smithereens. So we'll see.
I'm going to do the total opposite because I don't want to agree with you guys over here. And I think they're going to pull the inevitable in Duval, and it's just going to screw everything up for us. I think Nick Folk's going to redeem himself, like I've been saying for a couple of podcasts now. I think we win 23-20. Nick Folk game win.
23?
23.
Holy shit.
23. Jaguars is struggling.
Is that a defensive touchdown in there, Jarett?
You know what? We'll say it's a defensive touchdown because you know what? They had a defensive touchdown last year.
Who?
Huh?
Who the hell's taking it? Who's taking one of the house on our
let's do a strip sack by Jeffrey Simmons, and Dr. Gibby takes it back to for 6.
A lot of people coming to your boy's defense on Twitter, Gibbons, when we're talking about Vrabel developing players.
Yeah, I mean, off the top of my head, everyone's saying Amari Hooker, like you, Sal, Amari Hooker, and
they can't even say his name right. It's Amari
Hooker. Yeah, whatever the hell it is.
Fucking good. Nobody knows his freaking name.
Yeah. Where'd he go to college? Impress me, people.
Iowa.
There we go. All right.
Harold Landry is another one who just like quietly had four sacks in the last 4 games too. That's another one. And like off the top of my head, Tierre Tart, there's a ton of them.
I'm out, Jarett.
Tierre Tart, Philadelphia finest.
Are you going to sit here, Jarett, with a straight face and tell me that Harold Landry has been an impactful defensive player this year? Is that what you're going to say?
He has 4 sacks in the last 4 games.
Who gives a? You remember any of them besides the one against fucking John or whoever it was, like week 2? You remember any of his sacks?
He ate against the Falcons too.
You can't.
Because it's the truth.
Oh my god!
I do want to see. I want to see Gibbons more. Gibbons, and I want to see Caleb Murphy more.
Somebody said David Long Jr. Oh my god! These defenders are even worse than Tannehill.
He's doing good with the Dolphins right now.
Doing very good.
Better than he did in Tennessee. What does that tell you?
He was good in Tennessee. He was great against the
better than he did here, from what I've seen.
On the field.
Better than he was doing here.
I mean, that training. I think the training staff might be a little bit more responsible for a lot of the injuries than we thought. Maybe we joked about it. I know me specifically. I talked about it last year. Sal talked about it not too long ago on Twitter. Our training staff might need a complete overhaul as well, because you're seeing players who couldn't stay on the field here to save their lives playing, at a very high level every week, i.e., David Long. So
AJ
Brown. Yep. Stop, please. I'm headed to Philly after this. It's going to be around a bunch of these South Philly degenerates who are going to AJ Brown, Kevin Byard, yeah. So thus the Peroni.
There you go. We got to wrap up tonight. Before we do, let's give a quick shout out to our great sponsors over at DraftKings. Can you believe we're this deep into the NFL season? We got to make every second count. With DraftKings Sportsbook, you can make the most out of every game day. Bet on your favorite teams for a shot at winning big bucks. New customers can score $150 instantly in bonus bets for betting 5 on any matchup.
Get in on the action with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Download the app now and use code 6sports. New customers can score $150 instantly in bonus bets for betting just $5 on the NFL. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook with code 6sports. The crown is yours.
That's it. A little more enthusiasm next time, Jarett, but not too bad.
Look at you speaking in the mic. Not too bad.
Hey,
it's my turn, motherfuckers. We're going to bet with our heads. We're not going to bet over it. We want to be responsible. We don't want to be paying our bookies with our student loan money. That things like that have happened in the past. We don't want to be stealing hubcaps or stealing chromies or looking for scrap metal to put on these.
Your mortgage away. Then your wife
exactly. Not that I've ever done that, but. But we want to bet responsibly and, bet whoever is on the Jags defensive line to record at least 1 sack this Sunday.
Yeah, definitely do that.
Lock of the week.
Absolutely.
Lock of the week.
Definitely. And then also you can take a bet on the prop bet that Mike Vrabel's hands will be on his knees during Sunday's game versus the Jags.
That should have been a good Halloween costume for us this year. We all could have been a different version of Vrabel.
Yeah, one with our hands on our knees, the other one where he's like this.
Yeah. And then one with just a confused look.
Yeah. And then with his fucking aviators on, like he's
looking like the most obvious undercover cop ever.
I know. Oh my god. Looking like he's ready to go to a fucking VFW. All right. Listen, we're gonna wrap up for tonight, guys. Thanks everyone for joining in. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Share the show with your friends, so we can keep giving you the best Titans content we can. And that's going to wrap it up for tonight. So I hope everyone enjoys the rest of their night and have a good rest of their day and week. And we will catch you on Sunday after the Jags game. So tighten on up. And Sammy, you can send us out.
And that's a wrap. Hope you don't miss us too much until next time. Follow the Sick Podcast Talking Titans on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Google Play, and Apple Podcasts.